disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's up?
What's up, bro?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. You know what? I just realized something. Is Raw back?
Bro, I thought it glitched. Hold on, I thought it glitched. I said,
I thought my mind glitched, Angel, because I was like, wait a minute. Is Raw 100% back? If so, I don't even know what day.
It's supposed to be because they recorded one show, and then was there a Monday they didn't record?
Well, I don't know because when I come into the backstage, I can see all of our shows, and I saw Raw on there, and it did not have a date for their newer one, so I have no idea. But anyway, we'll keep it to our normal stuff. On Tuesday, you got the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Thursdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel.
Wednesdays, the traditional way with Brett Shumway, and once a month, you got the extra scoop with Peyton Fender and Jeff Doss.
For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Fellas, it's showtime. What's happening?
What's it been, a couple weeks?
Yeah, now for us, yeah, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we did some.
Everybody else.
Because we put out a show, but we didn't really see each other because we put that one out. We recorded it a little earlier than putting it out.
Right, Angel and I last week's show was the Cobra Kai interview, so that was pretty fun.
Which that was really good, man. That came out really good.
And before that, we did the Love Hurts interview. You guys should really check out both of those. They were good interviews.
Very, very good.
Especially for three guys who really don't interview that often. So.
Exactly.
Hey,
I'm just saying, like, I think we hold it down for, when we get some interviews compared to the guys who are doing interviews all the time. So
to be honest with you, I actually feel like our interviews are actually better than people I know that do them all the time, like all those normal podcasts. I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like ours are like really good interviews. We ask good questions, and we always end up making.
You're not talking about Alex and Jeff, right? Though, right? You're not talking about them, right?
I'm not talking about
because the reason because we're just talking about Alex and Jeff, and then you just bust in with that. I don't want Jeff sending us a text message like, "What do you mean? You think you're better than me?" Is that what you're saying?
No. Here's how I'm gonna tell you. We got different styles, okay? Those two they're a little more professional. We're like Graham Norton show, okay? We get people loosened up. If we could be with the people, we'd be the ones having them take a couple drinks, get them loosened up, and then we just ask them whatever we want to ask them. I don't know if you watch Graham Norton, but Graham Norton gets people to talk about wild stuff.
No.
Oh my God. He gets people talking about anything and everything all the time. So I feel like that's more our style. We're a little bit laid back. We make you feel comfortable, and then we just hit you with whatever we want to hit you with. It's all right. It's all good.
Very true.
Nothing crazy.
Now you're saying that. Now hold on. You said that after Angel just said what he says, and now you're sitting up here with a "Shut Up, Alex" shirt on. They could take this.
Listen, I just found this, so I put it on. I didn't even think about that, but you know what?
We're not throwing shots at our boys. All right, go ahead.
No,
Jeff.
for sure. You know what? This may be out of order because I kind of don't remember how long, when everything happened. But between the last couple of weeks, my daughter had her show, Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. She killed it. I watched it 3 times out of the 4. She killed it every time. She had a good time. It was actually a really good show. I've never seen that show before. Very colorful, lots of fun songs. The whole thing is singing throughout, so there's not like a pause and then some acting and then singing. No, the whole thing is singing. And she had a solo that was really fun. Yeah, go ahead.
I've heard about this play for years, since I was a little kid, right? But also, I grew up. The elementary school that I went to was a Catholic school, and I've done that play also as a kid, but it wasn't called the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Why? It was just, Joseph in a coat of many colors. Why did they change that? Did they ever explain that, or was it in the program or anything?
No, man, the coat is given to him by his dad, and the
Mm-hmm.
idea is that Joseph can interpret everyone's dreams. So it gets him into trouble, and then it gets him like praise from the people when they need him to explain the dreams. It's almost like he's telling the future.
Okay.
So, but it's based off the Bible story of the
Right.
story that and then it got turned into a play and
Hmm.
a little over exaggerated. So
Okay. Gotcha.
this version that they did, because it's a high school telling it.
Hmm.
I don't know if you follow the biblical version, but it's in Egypt. They
Yeah.
talk about slaves, so
Hmm.
they changed some of that. So they
Okay.
made it, instead of being in Egypt, it was the pyramids, but it was in Las Vegas. So they actually had Elvis, they had the Elvis song. It
Okay.
did show up as the Pharaoh, and they did a good job with that. And then instead of slaves, they did construction workers.
Okay. All
Just
right.
to make it sound better.
Okay.
But
I got it.
other than that, I mean, everything pretty much did stay the same. So, and my daughter was the baker, and technically in the story, the baker ends up being killed and executed, but they
Hmm.
didn't portray that in the play. They just talk about it
Okay.
as a part of her dream. But yeah, I enjoyed watching that. That was fun. Other than that, we had a big archery tournament. So I had 4 kids compete. They all did pretty good. The tournament itself was a little much because it's the first one that Walled Lake has hosted. So it's kind of all over the place. And 2 of the coaches were unavailable. So they pulled my wife and I in to be line judges, which really it's not that difficult. You make sure everybody's on the line, nobody's in the field before we start shooting. You hold up a baton that goes from red to green, and then they shoot, and then live field, not live field, basically. So we did that, and my son ended up having to shoot in Howell the same day at 3 o'clock. So we took him there, and he did a tournament out there, and we had to drive in all that crazy snow that we got, by the way.
Hmm.
But so the crazy thing is, my wife said the snow was bad until she got closer to Howell, and then it turned to rain.
Mm. So
So
that stuff
apparently,
probably
and then
froze.
yeah, so she said, and it was the same on the way back. Howell was still raining, but the closer she got to home, it was back to snowing because it only snowed over here. I didn't get no rain,
Hmm.
so it's kind of
I think I
crazy.
think I think it kind of rained here on Friday for a hot second, but then it switched over. It switched over to snow.
Yeah, that can get dangerous because, like you said,
Yeah.
when you put snow on top of ice,
Yep.
there's not enough salt and uh, plowing in the world that can take care of that. So
Yeah, and people are still driving crazy. So
yes, that's the biggest
I
problem.
don't even understand that, and that's primarily why I don't like driving now in the snow. It's not that I can't do it; I can do it. It's fine. I know how to do it, but I'm not trying to, watch out for what I'm doing, but I also got to watch out for what you're doing. Also, these other
No,
people
I
that's
get you on that for
you
sure
know.
because people, yeah, when I'm like, I give myself extra time to go to work, and people want to sit around and like try to push me to go faster or pass me.
Hmm.
I'm like, pass me, man. I'm not trying to die.
Yeah, I went out
Good
yesterday,
luck.
man. I went out yesterday because I had to run to the store, and Meyer is less than a mile from me, and I went up to this
Okay.
Meyer, man, and I still see people speeding, and people are still running red lights. I
Yep.
don't understand it. I don't, but also what I'm also seeing is an increase in amount of vehicles that have messed up front ends and rear ends
Mhm.
also. So that lets me know you don't even have insurance either.
Mhm.
Because if you did, then your car will be getting fixed.
Gene taking it to the. I'm not even thinking about that.
Mhm.
He's
So
like, get away from me. I'm not trying to pay for your stuff.
yeah.
Oh, before all that, our furnace went out. So, I had furnace trouble last year. So I called the guy thinking they'll come out, tune it up, and we'll be good. Well, he came out, he put a camera in there. He called me down within 5 minutes. The second he called me down and didn't
You
come
knew it was
upstairs to
bad.
tell me, I knew something was wrong. It
Hmm.
shows me a big crack this big in my heat exchanger.
Mm-hmm.
So the furnace was running, but no heat was coming out.
Mm.
Well,
Oh
obviously,
man, it's
yeah.
freezing.
Yeah. So, well, we got a space heater that was pretty nice to heat up the living room. And then my sister-in-law, she had a couple more. So we were running those for like a week until we could figure out what we were going to do. And I mean, they basically said changing out the exchanger would cost almost as much as the whole thing. So I basically had to make the decision, do I just put a Band-Aid on a head wound or do I just change it out? So I just said, we're going to have to change it out. So, that was a lot of money, but we made it work. And they were in and out in 2.5 hours. Huh?
This is for a furnace?
Yeah.
Dude, I could be wrong, but like, didn't you just do something like a year ago with this?
Yeah, a year ago we had them out 3 times and they were just fixing it up. There was a clog.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first guy that came out twice fixed the clog twice. The second guy that came out the third time figured out why it was getting clogged. Mm-hmm. So we were good all last year, but they told me that I was probably going to have to, because the heater was 14 years old and it was only a 10-year warranty. So it was past its expiration date. They say they usually give them about 15 to 20 years. So, yeah. I mean, it wasn't shocking, but I was really just hoping to make it through the winter and then worry about it next year. But that wasn't the thing. So they sent 4 guys out. They were in and out 2.5 hours, 2 hours.
That's good.
So, yeah. And I had heat and everything was good. And then, and then after that, I got, the family got sick and I was the last one to get the flu. So that was fun. So, yeah, I missed a few days of work, but luckily, I mean, I got enough time to where I was able to, I still got paid for it, but, they're getting real stingy at work right now. So I had to get a doctor's note and my doctor's looking at me like, you're sick. Why do you need a note? I'm like, because that's what the job wants. And just, so they literally like, well, what am I supposed to put? I just put that I was sick. I needed to be excused for X amount of days and be done. So
I'm surprised your doctor asked you that because you're not the first human to come into their office and ask for a doctor's note. I mean, most of the time, I've always thought if you went to the doctor in the middle of the day, they ask you like, hey, do you need a note?
A lot of times they do, but I guess my doctor just was weird about it. Like they figured that, they give you paperwork at the end of your visit. She thought that would be good enough.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, I got to literally say that I need to be off for 3 days because I literally stayed in bed for 3 days. So it's ridiculous. But I said, she wrote it out and put it on her letterhead. So, and that's when I walked into work yesterday, I was like, take your doctor's note. Leave me alone. So other than that, man, the Super Bowl, I was so happy about the Super Bowl. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a hater, but I'm just sick and tired of seeing the Chiefs win. So when they get spanked like that, I'm happy. I'm good.
I honestly didn't care who won.
I was the same way, but I didn't want the Chiefs to win.
I think I probably would have cared more if these last 2 years we weren't expecting the Lions to be there. Last year I was like, we're winning the game, and I'm getting congratulations in the third quarter. Next thing you know, they fall on their face, and then this year we're supposed to beat at least the Commanders, and then once again they don't live up to expectations.
You know what kills me? I would have loved to see the Lions be the one to dismantle the Chiefs, and then it would have reminded me of when the Pistons dismantled the Lakers.
Yeah.
Because then we could say Detroit just messes people up. And, we take a dynasty. We take a dynasty and we just come in like a wrecking ball.
Detroit's having a good sports year, though, man. Football.
They are
football and basketball right now. Doing good.
In baseball, they didn't do terrible. I mean, they had a good run in baseball. So
they had a good run. So
compared to the last few years,
yeah, they might have something good going on there.
Well, I mean, we're one of those rare cities that, we have all the sports teams, plus we have 1.5 good colleges here also. Yeah, I know. I took a shot. No, I did. I know. But
anyway. You talking about Ferris?
Oh yeah, my school, our champion. My school, our champion. No, but
Oh.
most areas don't have all four sports team plus two college teams, that are, somewhat decent and playing for something a lot of times. I actually kind of feel bad for Michigan State, honestly, right now, because I don't know when they're gonna have a chance to be good again. Because when you look at the recruiting now, and Michigan has a lot recruited really, really well for this year, and now Ohio State is the champions. People are going to look at Penn State. The people that they recruit in this area, they're going to look at Penn State and they're going to look at Notre Dame. So Michigan State's going to have a rough time trying to get really, really good players, man. So I don't know actually when we're going to see them be really, really competitive. And now look how big the Big Ten is now. Now that we
Yep.
didn't brought in all those West Coast teams and everything, now, man, it's gonna be a challenge for Michigan State over the
I've
next few
always
years.
considered Michigan State more as a basketball college than it was football.
Yeah, I would say that they're
Because even
basketball.
like their basketball team this year, their men's team is ranked in like the top 15, I think.
Hmm.
At one point, I saw they were like number 4, so like they're pretty good. So I always considered them like more of a basketball college, and then I always considered University of Michigan both like a football and basketball. Like they could do good at both. But nah, man. I mean, they're having a good year, man. That was Cade Cunningham in the All Star game. I mean, it's been a minute since a Detroit Piston was in an All Star game, so that's good.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take
Yeah.
it, man. Every time. How about you, Angel? How you been in the last couple weeks?
Been good, man. Just been chilling. I just got back from Florida this past weekend. I was seeing my grandparents. Watched the
Okay.
All Star game yesterday. Well, I watched what I could of it. I don't know. Did you guys watch it or no?
Nope.
No, I watched it because I just wanted to see if it was going to be different than what I've watched. Because I usually don't watch it because it sucks. But this year, it was a little better, so it wasn't that bad.
I I haven't really watched, man. The last 10 years, man. I've kind of been down on the NBA, man, and it's crazy because that as a kid, that was like my number one sport when I was a
Yeah,
teenager and when I was in my 20s and into my 30s. Like I loved the NBA all the time. And now, man, it's just I have a hard time watching it now, man.
I tell you what, man. I'm on vacation and I'm sitting down in my hotel room and I'm watching. There's nothing else to watch, so I said, "Oh, I love watching a 3 point shootout." Right? That's like It's more exciting to watch that now. So I put that on, and it was a good storyline. It was a great event. I watched the slam dunk contest. Man, I was like, the first guy made his first dunk within like the first 15 seconds. He didn't get a great score. It wasn't a great dunk, but he made a dunk. When I tell you the next 3 people never made a dunk, the next 3 people, literally, I said they had each get 5 chances to make their dunk. They all messed up on all 5, all 3 of them messed up on all 5 chances. I said, we've gone 15 chances without a dunk being even done. I said, this
Yep.
is absolutely terrible. Like, this is why no one wants to see it.
Well,
And then you have the kid from the G League. He comes out and his first dunk is jumping over the middle of a car. And I was like, you know what, man? Like, at least that kid, everyone talks crap about, oh, we shouldn't let G League players in. What are we doing now? I'm like, at least he cares. Like, this is just
yeah, I
ridiculous.
mean, when you think of the skills challenge and the 3 point contest, you see the stars of the NBA
They actually
participating
do
in
those.
those.
Yeah, they do
When it
those.
comes to the dunk contest,
No,
we're not getting the stars.
no, we're not. And it's
you
sad.
know,
Not anymore. Not
And it's
anymore. Not like we used to.
And like I said, man, that kid, he literally had like 350s, a 49, I think a 48. But like his dunks are at least that you can at least get like a little excited. You're like, oh, okay. The last dunk contest that was good was when I was in college. Was when it was Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. That was the last one that I saw that I remember watching it at my school with all my friends, and we were going nuts because it was like I was seeing things like I've never seen before in my life. Like there's no way someone can do these things. Then it's like, without them, it doesn't matter. It's just
but you know what? You're right, Angel. That was a good dunk contest, but even at that point, those two guys weren't really superstars.
no, they weren't super. They
Nope.
became superstars after that.
Yeah,
They became
because of
superstars
that.
after. They were just known as good role players. That's what they were known as. And it just so happens to be that later
Are
on.
are they considered superstars now?
Yeah. Yeah.
I really don't know, but I
No,
wasn't trying
Zach
to take a
Levine.
shot.
Zach
I
Levine
really
got named to I think 1 or 2 All-Star games. Aaron Gordon, he's an NBA champion. You know, like they've actually done things.
But if
like,
you're a superstar, then you're always in an All-Star game, not just 1 or 2.
they're not superstars. They're just stars. We'll just say that.
Okay.
They're
All right.
they're famous enough that if they were to walk outside, people would definitely know who they are.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, I know
yeah.
who that dude is, right?
Yeah,
But like you take the people that were in the slam dunk contest. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll probably see them walk right by me, and I wouldn't even know who they are. I'll be like, all right, like whatever.
Yep.
Then they'll tell me after. I'll be, oh damn, all right, cool, like whatever. Like if
Right.
it ain't the superstars, it don't matter. But yeah, I mean, just seeing some of that stuff, man. I really get so like, ugh, like I just. But with that being said, I had a question, right? And like my question, real quickly, because we can just answer it quick. After you go into AKA Gene, you think Sport Cry should have an All-Star weekend type of thing or not?
If you do that, you have to change the whole tournament circuit, because what would be the difference? Are you talking about you? I mean, you're almost talking about a Sport Karate Invitational.
Yeah, kind of
where
like in an event, like it's more of a spectator type of event where it's like, you know, kind of like a set match, kind of like
you
a
know
set
what?
match, but it's an all-star team, you know.
I know this is gonna be controversial and people ain't gonna like it, but fuck it, I don't care. You know I do. If you do something like that, Angel, and if you really want it to be successful, you should probably make the kids be the headliners, right? Because a lot of times in the tournaments, there are more people watching the kids divisions than they watching the adults.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that's just what it is, man. We have more. I mean, I don't get out as much as you, but I would think that there are more kids in tournaments than there are adult black belt competitors.
Absolutely, that's the format for running a tournament. Always go to the
Yeah,
kids.
so we should highlight the kids. They should be the headliners. They should be the closers, because now you're going to have more people sticking around at the end of the event. I mean, it's kind of messed up. Like when I see the end of an event, people are tearing up the rings, breaking them down and everything. And is one, you might have 2 rings still going. One is the black belt finals, and the other one might be the Forums Grand Championships.
Yeah.
And people are leaving. That should be the finals. Everybody should be sticking around for that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not the case. That's kind of messed up.
No, that's a good point. I just saw that and I was like, I wonder if like that, you know, I'm sure it's been done before, but I'm like, I wonder if that could ever be brought back.
But see, the thing is, kids, I think kids will promote it more. If we're highlighting kids, they're going to promote it more than the adults. Adults have a lot more things going on, you know, but a kid is going to be out there, or their parents are going to be out there, and their family's going to be out there. Come see little Johnny. He's going to be at this tournament. It's an 8-man tournament or a 16-person tournament, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, looking at Cobra Kai, look at it. That's technically the junior division. You know, that's the highlights.
Yeah,
you know, the junior black belt division. You know,
that's a good point. I remember years ago, ISKA did something like that, like a USA versus Europe, and they had people from Waco come over and this and that. And a few other tournaments have done something like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a thought. But I will say though, just watching all that stuff this weekend, I was like, man, like I said, it was good to see the All-Star game, to see them like put a little bit more effort and like actually, you know, go for some blocks and try. But it was
a little bit different this year, right? They broke it up into 4 different teams.
Yeah, 4 different.
And it was like
teams.
another tournament.
4?
Yeah, 4 teams, and games were up to 40. Games were up to 40, and there was only like 7 people on each team or something like that.
8 people on each team, yeah. And then you had the OGs, and then you had Rising Stars, and I don't know, did they divide those 2 groups up into 2 separate teams?
No, it was OGs, Rising Stars, the international players, and then Candace had like a group of players. I don't know who Candace Parker has. She had like a group of players, or hers was the Rising Stars and something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was the that's how it was this year, Joe. I didn't watch it. I just saw stuff online
Like I
about
said,
it.
That's like the Pro Bowl, changing the flag
That's what it's,
football
that's
because
what it's getting to.
nobody wanted to play because they were getting injured.
That's what
Like,
it's
I don't
getting
care.
to, and that's what it's getting to, and that's why like people like Shannon Sharp and all them are like, yeah, you just cancel the damn weekend. That's it. Just like
Yes,
like just do something like just honor them with an award at the end of the year.
that's what I'm saying. Honor them, but we don't need the game. Nobody cares.
Yeah, that's it. Just cut it out.
Or just do the All-Star Saturday night without the game. Or how would you feel? How would you
Jameer
feel?
Gibbs called an interception. Okay, who
Yeah.
cares? It's
No,
flag
no.
football. I'm just saying.
Listen. How would you feel if the NBA All-Star game, right? You got your skills challenge, you got all that stuff, and the finale was just like NBA Jam. It was just 2-on-2.
Someone said that. People have been saying they should just do a one-on-one tournament. Take all the All-Stars, but they just do a one-on-one tournament up to like 7 and see who's gonna be the king of the court. And I thought that'd be smart, right? I thought that'd be good.
Yeah.
But then there was a good point that someone made, and they said, "Well, what do you do?" They said people will not want to do it. All-Stars will be too afraid to do it
They would.
because
The sponsors wouldn't want that either.
It'll hurt their brand. And they were saying like, what if you get up? What if you have like a Cade Cunningham, and his first matchup is Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant starts with the ball. They're like, that would be a very quick 7-0 or 7-2 or 8-1 or whatever. So they're like, what do you do then? Like, how, like, does that make, you know what I mean? People won't want to play because they'll hurt their brand. I like that idea, though. I like that idea. Like, do a 3-on-3.
But also, like, I know people worry about their sponsors, right? But also, your sponsors are going to can benefit from it also, because let's say you take Cade Cunningham and Cade goes against Kevin Durant, but what if he beats him?
Yeah.
What if he wins the whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, now we got a new superstar in the league because he just beat out the people who were supposed to win. Now we have, and that's exactly what happened with Golden State when Golden State won their first championship. Nobody was expecting them to win that year. They weren't supposed to win.
Supposed to be the
that was supposed to be Cleveland and LeBron were supposed to win that year. Nobody was talking about Steph at that time.
No.
And now next thing you know, we have a new dynasty. So
yeah.
it can work. It can still work, and that didn't hurt LeBron's his brand. Not really.
Yeah.
People are going to talk shit, but it is what it is.
People are going to talk about him anyways. Something else someone said was make it more useful. Make it where when the players come for the All-Star game, make the mandatory jerseys the throwback home and away jerseys, like how they used to do before in like the 2000s and all that, where like you wear your actual team's jersey for the All-Star game, but instead of wearing the newer kind, you wear like the old Detroit Pistons jersey, the old, I don't know, Sixers jersey.
I get it, but would that be a little bit confusing to you in the heat of the battle and heat of the game? And when you're throwing a pass, you could accidentally throw it to the wrong person.
Hell no. Them dudes would love to wear that. They would know. They know it's a Sixers jersey. They know who it is.
Yeah, but sometimes like if you're trying to go for a rebound real quick and trying to do just a pass real quick, you never know. Like you could forget because you're just in the heat of battle at that point in time.
You also
because everybody's not going to have the same color.
Yeah,
it's easy to look for just that color. Just look for the purple and throw it to. But now, if I can see if one team is all wearing all white, but if the visitors are all wearing different colors, that could be a little confusing. And they have done that, and I thought it was interesting. But I think some players did get confused.
Oh, really?
Because they showed enough they can keep that going.
Well, I think it makes it more entertaining.
They must not have been All-Stars long, because that's what people were doing before.
No, they only did it one time. They didn't do it for years. They did it a handful of times.
Yeah, they did it for a couple times. They did it like
a couple compared to how long they've done the All-Star game. That didn't last. If it was successful, they would have kept going.
True. Yeah, well, you know what they should have done? They should have stayed with that 95-96 jersey, that teal blue. That was successful.
Well, every year the All-Star uniforms used to look different every year. One time, the home teams used to be white, and the other one would be red or whatever, or blue or whatever. And then they would just switch back and forth, whether they were on the East Coast or West Coast. The home team, if you're on the West Coast, we're wearing white, and the other team will wear red or blue or whatever. And then they started getting creative, but they just do that, man, just to sell new jerseys. That was just all a money making thing, So.
Yeah, that's all they're doing. How was your week? How's everything been with you, Gene?
Yeah, I mean, that was it for you. All
That's it.
right.
I haven't
Yeah,
been late.
everything's been cool. Everything's been good, man. I'm getting ready to make a quick little trip down to Indianapolis, do some work. Other than that, I'll be back. Champ's birthday was last week. He turned 12. He had a good time. We were supposed to, he wanted me to take him and his friends out to Urban Air on Saturday, and he was real excited about it. But I told him, man, like we got some snow coming, man. I don't think we're gonna be able to make that one, So
Yeah, we had a lot of
uh,
snow.
yeah, yeah. So I told him that I'll take him this weekend. So when I get back on Friday, I'm gonna take him and his friends on Saturday to Urban Air and let them jump around, get some energy out.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it, man. What did you guys think? We didn't talk. Well, what did you guys think about the Love Hurts interview? How do you guys think that went?
I
It's
thought it
cool.
went well.
I thought it went great. I thought it
Yeah, I
was
did
good.
too. Yeah, we had a good time
I
for
thought
those
we
guys.
did a really good job. I think I was more surprised about the rating it got, but I
I,
mean,
I'm I never checked the box office numbers or anything like that, so I don't know how
It
well the
was
movie
it
did.
was number 2 to the horror film.
Okay,
So they had a good week. I mean, I think it was timing and the main character uh kind of helped the movie, but yeah, it was number 2.
okay. I
all
mean,
right,
it wasn't a bad. I mean, we're gonna do. Are we gonna do the review next week of that
I
without
whatever,
think so.
spoiling the movie since it's still out?
whatever you want.
All right, because
I
we
mean,
were
we
supposed
could
to do that.
definitely do it without spoiling it, and there
Yeah,
really
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
much to spoil.
The reason why I was saying it just because I saw what it got on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, man, some of these critic places, I'm like, I feel like I've never seen them give any movie good scores. So I'm like, this is it
They
gets.
do, but when they do, it's like it's a movie. If you go see the movie, you'd be like, "This movie sucks."
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know how to explain it, man. I don't want to like talk.
Artistic.
Yeah, yeah. I
They
don't
like
want to
those
talk down.
artistic movies.
Yeah, I don't want to talk down the movies, but it's like those like the Sundance Film Festival movies and all these and that, and it's like they're not that good, So, but my own opinion though. That's just my opinion.
Our
But
movie that we're talking.
the people score was good. So I mean, it was in the 60, almost 70 for
Oh, that's good.
people.
Our
Yeah,
movie that we're talking about today, Ballerina. It seemed like a artistic movie.
yes.
Uh, we'll get into that in a little bit. See how much longer we can stall talking about that movie. And it's
Look up.
like okay, we can get into it now. Hold on. Joe, like I said, I didn't know. I thought we missed out on the John Wick's Ballerina.
When I seen
So
it pop up, so did I. But then I looked into it and I was like, "Oh no, this is not
see, I
John Wick
didn't look
Ballerina."
into it. I just took it as because the Continental came out either last year or the year before that. And we were
Yeah,
talking about the Continental and Ballerina coming out while we were doing the John Wick reviews. So I
yeah. I
just
think
assumed
Ballerina
this
comes
was it.
out. That one comes out in March, I believe.
Yeah, it comes out soon. What
Yeah.
were you gonna say, Angel?
Oh, well, two things. One, I was gonna say I thought we were watching the John Wick spinoff, also the John Wick universe one. So I kept thinking I was watching the wrong movie. I kept going back and searching. Then the thing I want to say, you guys are absolutely right.
Oh, June. That one comes out in June.
Okay.
As we said about with the Rotten Tomato scores and just the scores, this one had a 91% from Rotten Tomatoes.
This one?
This one we're doing and a full score of 72. Which in my mind I think is hilarious because we're over here saying I don't know, man. It just goes to prove that the critic scores sometimes are just so off.
You know how many fight scenes were in this movie?
It was like 3.
3.
I counted. I guess 3.5. I was gonna say 4, but I guess 3.5 because that one when she just walks into the apartment in a fight before she jumps out the window or whatever.
At one point,
Oh yeah.
At one point, I was gonna tell you guys, I don't know if this counts as a martial arts movie, but we're gonna make it.
Yeah, and there's this.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, here's what really happened. Y'all, we had something else planned, and then Gene was looking for something. So when Gene's like, "We need something," I go right to Netflix and type martial arts. That's
Right.
exactly what I do. It's the easiest thing. I know where to find it. Otherwise, I gotta Google martial arts movies, and then I gotta find out where to stream them. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
So
it is.
I literally, if you just go to Netflix and put martial arts in, a lot of stuff comes up. The
Yeah.
problem is the stuff that comes up sometimes 90% of it is subtitled and terrible.
Yeah.
So I tried to find something that wasn't subtitled, and then it didn't look terrible. So I go on, I see this one, and there was another one that came up that I checked out. It didn't look. It looked okay. So
Did you guys
when I'm
realize?
looking at this one, go ahead.
Did you realize that this was dubbed?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't realize until we started, and when I saw that, that's when I said, "Oh, this must be
That's
the
part of the problem, though, and I'll get into that in a minute. So I
wrong
go in and I check out the first scene of this. The first scene is great. Okay, the
Yeah.
first scene has they're in some kind of shop,
Convenience
like little
store.
mini market,
Mm-hmm.
convenience store. It's being robbed. She's trying to buy something. She's real nonchalant, and she kicks the crap out of the bad guys. And it was a good scene. I was like, okay, this is the kind of movie we're getting into. I can get down with that, no problem. The rest of the movie was nothing like that. That was the only time it was like that. The rest of it, it was all over the place. It didn't explain anything.
No.
Apparently, she's some John Wick assassin, but they never really explained that.
They did not. They didn't get into it at all, or explain it, or how she got those skills, or who trained her, or anything.
And then I'm trying to figure out, why is it called Ballerina? That's even dumber, because why is it called? Her girlfriend was the ballerina.
Well, you know
not
what?
her.
You know what's messed up about this? I couldn't tell if they were lovers or just friends.
Me neither. They never gave that. They kept a fine line between that.
Yeah, they did.
But they have to be lovers. Who's going through this kind of craziness just for a friend?
Well, she seemed like she was her only friend.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong on that, so you're probably right.
Yeah, so I really, really couldn't tell.
Okay, but her other friend at the beginning, she had another friend that she was going to visit and that had killed herself, or maybe they killed her. I don't know.
That was her. That was the ballerina. The ballerina killed her. Yeah, the ballerina killed herself.
So then who was she saving at the end?
Oh, that was another girl. That was the girl. Remember? See? Oh, you
completely lost. See? That's what I thought too.
That's fun. Yeah, man.
That's what I thought too, but I was confused.
The girl that she said.
At one point, I thought it was just a flashback.
No. The girl. That girl went.
Oh my god, I'm so freaking pissed right now.
When this
Screw this movie.
When she went to go look for remember when she hooked up with what was that guy's name? What was his name? Did they even say his name? Did they even give her name?
I don't know, bro.
They gave us her name. It was like some.
Oh yeah, that's
name.
right. Ming Qi or something like that, right?
Yeah, Ming Chi, Ming Cho, something Korean.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. So anyway, remember when she went to the club?
Shut up, Angel.
She went to the club and she met the guy who had been messing around with her friend, and she kind of pretended she wanted him to take her home, right?
Yeah.
Remember, he takes her home until he said, "I'm not taking you to my house. I'm gonna take you to a hotel." He takes her to the hotel, and then they start fighting. When she runs out, she's being chased, and this girl opens the door, and a guy's chasing her with a chainsaw. But when she opens the door, the door knocks the chainsaw into the guy, and he cuts his leg off. And she grabs the girl and she runs her out of. She shows her how to get out. So it's that girl. That's the girl. They just accidentally bumped into each other. That wasn't her friend. She wasn't trying to save her. She just bumped into her, and then so that was the girl that she ended up trying to help at the end. Yeah, it's weird, people. If you watch this movie, it's
this
a little
movie
bit
was all over the place.
They don't really explain things well.
This is the way I explained it to my family, because my daughter was watching like a part of it with me. I said, I think when you dub something, sometimes the translation between English and Korean gets lost.
Yeah.
So what they're trying to say doesn't come out how we would say it.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I feel like, they're like, okay, in English you would say, we're going to fight now. And the way they say it, it's like, fighting, we're going to do it because we are now. And it's just that gets lost, and then the movie gets lost to me, because now I'm like, what in the heck are you even saying or doing?
Were they I really don't know. Was this Chinese or was it Japanese? Because at first I thought it was Chinese. Because I was, and the only reason I say that is because I was looking at the subtitles because they weren't
Yeah.
in English. You know, they were in a different language, but I don't know that language, so I don't know the difference between them. But later on, they said something about Japan or
It
Japanese.
says Korean is the original audio.
Oh wow!
That's what when I look at
Oh,
the
that all threw
subtitles.
me off. Then okay,
Yeah, it says Korean is the original audio.
okay.
So yeah. So the plot of the movie was okay. It could have been structured better.
Explain better. Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, okay, so we're lost in translation with the plot and what they're trying to portray. But I thought, okay, at least we'll get some. This girl can kick ass, so maybe we'll get some good fighting scenes.
And
But we
another
only
thing,
got just 3 fighting scenes, maybe
yeah,
4, and most of them were with guns.
yeah. And another thing that kind of confused you also, if you were not really paying close attention, which really could have confused you, is they were doing flashbacks without letting you
Yes.
know a flashback was coming.
Yes. Yes.
So you just kind of get thrown back, and that possibly could have been where you got confused, Joe, at the beginning of the movie, because at the beginning of the movie we see a girl dead, you know,
No, I
in the
thought
bathtub.
that's what was happening, but then at the end, I'm like, is that the same girl? So I guess
The same
no, it's
girl
not.
did show up at the end. You know where she was at? She was in the ocean, dancing around in the ocean
Yes, because
because
of
she
course
wanted
she
to be a
was.
fish. I've never heard anybody wish to be a fish. Never.
This movie was a little different.
That's one way to put it.
This movie was just a little different. I'll be honest with you. You guys are making more sense than what I found out. Because when I got done, I said, "Yeah, they're gonna have to explain this one to me." Because I didn't watch it at all because it made no sense.
All right, I can do a summary real quick. If Joe's still going to break it down, I can do a summary. So basically, you have a girl who, she doesn't have any friends. She meets a girl that becomes her friend, and that girl is a ballerina. And I guess they lose touch with each other. They don't see each other that much. And the girl eventually kills herself. She kills herself because some bad guys have her on film doing things. And she does, and they're kind of blackmailing her to do different things. If she doesn't do it, they're going to expose her and put her video out there. So she can't take it, and she kills herself. And then she leaves a note for her friend to avenge her. And that's when her friends comes over to her house. She sees her dead body, and then she just has the note, and she goes to avenge her. Now this next part is really weird because she ends up getting on the note. It was like a phone number or something, and she looks on Instagram or something and looks this person up, and it's a restaurant,
Sushi
which,
restaurant.
yeah, sushi restaurant. But then also that person wasn't making any sense when she called the sushi restaurant.
No, see, she didn't call the sushi restaurant. She did something
Oh,
like
that's right.
it
She
was on the
texted.
computer, and the
That's right.
way they were talking on that, to me, it sounded like it was ordering some kind of sex party.
Mm. Or
I
maybe
think
so,
that's what
man.
was really happening. I think it was a cover up for that because that guy that she got into the fight with,
Mhm.
I think it was his site, and that's how he was running the site through the women he was trafficking,
Right.
and that's how he was making his videos.
Right. And then he calls her.
Yeah,
So he didn't know that the girl had killed herself. And this is going to get really confusing because we don't know anybody's names. We just keep on saying the girl and that girl. Just another. Let me pull this up so we'll at least have some names. This one came out in 2023.
There should be.
but they never ever explain like how she got these skills as a. She definitely was some kind of assassin because she could handle a gun, a
Yeah.
knife, no problem. I
She
mean,
had
at the
a
end, she
can
even.
of food.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Like
she's very resourceful
you would think by the way
when it
it
comes to
started,
fighting.
you would think by the way it started that we would have seen way more things that she could have been doing.
That's
Okay.
what I
Now.
said. Because even when she got the belt at the end and she was messing people up, breaking arms and stuff with the little ballerina belt or whatever they call it, ribbon or something.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the cast names, and I don't know which names are the men's names and which ones are the women's names. So this is going to be a little bit difficult. Like
Oh,
Jang Ok Ju, that's the first name. I'm assuming that's the girl, the first girl. That's our hero. Now the second name, Choi Pro. I don't know if that's the man or the woman. Now Choi mean he. I think this is the girl that died. This is the ballerina. Choi mean he. Because I remember her
That sounds
saying
right.
mean he. And then the other girl who she ends up saving, who they end up saving each other. She doesn't even have a name. It just says a female student. She don't have a name. And then there's another name at the bottom that says uh, M Young Sheik or Shik. I don't know. I don't know who that is. Maybe that's the main bad guy that seemed like he was in control of the whole organization, but he didn't do much anything. He talked the big
No,
game. We thought he was a tough guy, but he got up out of there quick.
sure, he
I
sure
don't
did.
know. I don't know.
Maybe he was the money for the organization. Who knows?
Yeah, because the other guy seemed to listen to him. The guy that we thought was the main bad guy, he listened to this other guy. But
Now, she at one point she's directed to a building, and she goes in and she finds all this weird stuff, and then she finds all the videos that this
yeah,
guy had made, and
that was
she
his
picks up
house.
the one. Yeah, it was okay. It was his house.
Yeah,
So
she
I don't know
followed
how.
him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she remember he caught her friend and he said, "Meet me at some docks or something like that." And because she answered the phone, she had her friend's phone. The guy calls,
Yeah,
he said, and she wouldn't answer. She didn't say anything, but he knew somebody was on the other end listening. So he told her to meet him somewhere. So she hangs up the phone and she goes there, but she doesn't let it be known to him that she's there. And he calls her and she's looking around. She sees somebody on the phone. So she just assumes this is the person who called. So then she follows him home.
yeah,
And that's
that makes
so she knows
sense.
where he lived. And then she broke into the house and looked around. And then that's when she found all of his videos of all of these girls that he was
Well, she specifically picked the one
recording.
that said ballerina.
Yeah. Oh, and she saw some other ones also. But yeah, you're right.
And this guy, he's some kind of assassin as well because, I mean, he could fight,
Yeah.
but he's also the one trying to make these, weird, freaky videos. Um, and it sounded like because towards the end when he's talking to his boss didn't like basically was saying like, why didn't you come to me with this business proposal? Because he wanted his cut.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
basically doing this on the side of the regular business. So his
Right.
boss was already not happy with him.
Right.
One, because now there's someone out there exposing the business and messing things up. And two, because you were doing this, you're basically skimming off the top.
Yep.
Because he's using the girls they were trafficking
Yeah.
in some of these videos.
Yeah.
And then random people he's pulling in, probably promising them fame and fortune, who knows.
Yep. You're right.
And then whatever this hotel has to do with it all. I mean, this must be his like base of operations or something, because
Yeah.
she talked about going to his house, and he's like, oh well, my parents are living with me right now, which I'm sure was just a cover up. He
Yeah.
looked like he was driving a Lamborghini. If you can't buy a house for you and your parents, like something doesn't add up there. I'm
Well,
sorry. But
he was just clearly lying about that because, like, even his boss said to him, like, "How are you buying a Lamborghini? Like, how do you have that much money to buy a Lamborghini?" So his boss knew
yeah,
that he
that's
was
what I
doing
was
something
saying.
on the side. Yeah. Is all that making sense to you, Angel?
it's making sense to me. But like the crazy part is, I was sitting there watching the whole time, and as I'm watching it, I'm saying to myself, I go, so where's the like? I thought when she was doing the ballerina show, I was like, oh, they're gonna like come down from the rafters, or she's gonna fight someone in the back, or she's gonna do this and that. And I was like, man, this is like a lot of story that is all over the place and very little fighting. And then you putting stuff together, I'm like, okay, I guess this makes more sense. But I'm still in the sense of like kind of like what Joe said. I thought it was a flashback, so I really didn't understand it when it got towards the ending.
Yeah, you know what? Also, I was thinking, I was thinking these ballerinas were going to be trained as assassins. They
Yes,
weren't. They were just really
hey, let me
ballerinas.
tell you,
That was it.
I was just about to say, I was so upset when I go, oh no, it's called Ballerina because she is a ballerina. I thought Ballerina was code name for something like, you
Because we
know,
saw that in John Wick.
yeah.
We saw
Yes.
that in John Wick that those girls were, being trained.
But that's the crazy thing. Why is this movie named after a character that's not even a big part of the movie? But I guess it's her reason for going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that the name of the movie and the idea is, to me, falls short.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me.
And frankly, in this scene where she had this guy dead to rights, she had a knife in his cheek, almost all the way through his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
How you don't kill this fool here makes no sense to me. And this random chick with a shotgun just shows up. Like, what the hell? I don't even know. Like, what was that all about?
I don't know anything, man. I mean, I'm just trying to piece together.
Like, who is this chick and where did she just all of a sudden come from?
I thought she was being trafficked.
The chick with the shotgun?
Oh.
If she was being trafficked, why would she be shooting the hero and not the asshole who's trafficking her?
I just assuming she was helping. That she wanted to be trafficked. She liked it. She liked the dick. I don't know. I don't know, man. Nothing is making sense. Maybe she was the
Nothing
madam.
at all.
She was the madam.
Oh, you're right. Here's the girl that helped her and opened the door and cut the guy's foot off. I didn't even. Okay, I see. Now I'm catching this for the second time around. And she's helping her get out. But she helps her get out, but she doesn't leave herself? What the hell?
She does. She leaves also. That's the girl.
Then
She takes her home. She takes her home.
How did she end up back? Then how did she end up back with the idiots?
Yeah, because they found her. They came to the apartment. Remember the part I told you and I said maybe this was like
Right?
They found her. They found her. They found out where this girl, which they didn't explain. How could you find this girl? You don't even know she exists. All you know is the ballerina girl. You don't know who this girl is. So how would you ever find her? That didn't make any sense at all. But they found her.
No.
They went to her apartment and they got her. And then when the other girl, the hero of this movie, when she comes home, the bad guys are in the apartment and they attack her. But they already have her girl tied up, or her friend or her new friend tied up.
Got you.
And then she jumps out the window. When the bad guys go back and tell their boss, the boss wanted them to bring her back, and they lied to him. They said, "Oh, we cut her up and we buried her in the mountains." Why did he even lie? That didn't even make sense.
Well, because he's an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, she falls out of a window. How does she survive that? Or jumps out? I don't know. I couldn't remember. She jumped out the window or fell out the window. Whatever. She should have been messed up. We never saw her limping or anything. She seemed fine. Maybe she landed in the garbage can or something. I don't know.
What's this random truck she gets all these weapons from? I missed this at first.
Oh, yeah. So
it's just two random old people with an RV with balloons.
Yeah, you were daydreaming, man. Because basically she goes to a shooting range. And the shooting
I saw
range,
that.
so the person at the shooting range was her former boss. And she asked her, she said, "I need some weapons." And she was like, "Are you sure you're trying to get me?" She was like, "Yeah, I need some weapons." So her former boss referred her to these people who had...
I definitely missed this. I must have fast forwarded to because this is where she gets the flamethrower.
Yes.
Okay.
And the little, but Joe, the weapons that these old people give her are all garbage. These weapons, they don't. They give her a 6-shooter. One of the things, the first thing they told her was a 6-shooter. I'm like, what is she, a sheriff in the Old West? Why does she need that gun? That didn't make
it helped in the end. It helped in the end.
Yeah, but I knew it because these weapons they were giving her were so ridiculous. I knew, okay, these are all going to come into place.
So what's the one she was using though wasn't crap. She had the pistol with the silencer. that must have been hers.
Well, at first, no, it wasn't hers. I think she had to fix. They had to fix it because like I don't think she could cock it and load it at first. And I think the old man said it needs some oil or something like that. Like she was going through all those weapons and they were all garbage.
Yes, true.
They were horrible. You know.
Oh man, this movie.
Yeah. But
This
yeah,
movie could have been
I've
so
never
much
seen.
better. It's kind of
I've
pissing me off.
I've never seen somebody give somebody a flamethrower. I thought that was so stupid and ridiculous. But I knew I was saying
It was like an old school flamethrower because they had a backpack like Rocket Man on it, man.
Yeah, I thought, okay, all of these weapons are so ridiculous. They are going to have to be used, or else why are you showing us this stuff? You know, when we got to the end of the movie, I knew the little gun was going to come into play, but I didn't think the flamethrower was. I forgot about it at that point in time when we got to the end. So,
well, the craziest part is, so she shows back up at the whatchamacallit, and she walks into she basically tortures people to give her what she wants, and she shows up at this weed house. It's on like a ranch, and she walks in with just a gun.
Yep.
But I guess nobody else there had a gun at the time.
Nope.
She's basically telling people, like, you're going to tell me where I can find this guy or I'm going to start messing everybody up. And they all just looking at her. Then she starts swinging the gun around and they're like, But the second they figure out, like, her gun jams, they all want to come and attack her.
Well, at that point in time, she killed the main boss. She shot him.
Yeah.
He's making the normal big boss speech when they walk into the room, and
I love that because when people do the speech and you don't kill them right there and then you let them get some ahead of steam, screw that. Shoot them while they're talking.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. She shoots him in the head, he falls down. and then she's still asking, like, well, are you guys gonna tell me now? Like, your boss is gone now, And then her gun jams, and then they all rush her and attack her. And she's fighting all of these guys off by herself.
My problem is, if you came in here, I don't care if you have a gun or not. I'm not attacking you. I'm gonna walk out the door, because you look crazy. She has blood on her face, and she just shot a guy, no problem.
Yeah,
I'm not testing this bitch. I'm not testing her one bit. I don't care who you are.
I would have grabbed one of those plants and just walked out. I'm like, well, my job's done for the
What a new chance! What a new chance! All right. That's my payment for the day. See y'all later.
See y'all later.
Perfect. Get on a horse and ride home.
Yep. Literally, she killed every person in this organization just by herself. She didn't have a backup. She didn't have no friends. Nobody. No. She kills them all. And somebody said something while she's doing this, which I really hope there's not going to be a sequel to this. But they led us to believe that there could be a sequel. I don't want to review it. I don't want to watch it. I'm telling you guys now. I have no interest in watching a continuation of this story.
So she took out
it could be. Nobody should be able to figure out who this girl is.
No,
nobody. You can't. She's a nobody to you, to these guys.
Okay, so she takes out what, 15, 20 people in that weed house, greenhouse, whatever you want to call it. So she gets down to one guy. Why is this guy protecting this dude? Who is this guy to you?
He's a pharmacist.
She could have killed. She just killed everybody.
Yeah.
And all she wants is to know one freaking thing. And you're gonna be loyal to this idiot? She's literally shoving glass in your mouth.
Yeah.
You're
talking about that guy? No, not that guy. That wasn't a pharmacist. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
But I'm saying he should have just been like, he's over there and ran. That's what I would have done. Why are you letting her close enough to you to mess you up? Yeah. Like, you just watch her kill everybody. Get out of there. Tell her what she wants to know. Don't let her come kill you. And then this was weird. This guy pulls up with the girl she's looking for in the back, looking like she's dead. Okay, but why did he pull up with no gun or nothing? Like, and her friends in the back.
Only thing I can think of, Joe, is this country that they're filming this in, people don't have guns. Like, average person does not walk around with guns. Our country has the most guns out of any country in the world.
Yeah,
America has the most. So,
but what was the point of him pulling up? He just
I don't
pulled
know.
up to pull up.
I don't know.
Like,
He
well,
had the
she's
girl in the
right
back.
here,
He had the girl in the back.
and she looked dead.
Yes, he did.
So why didn't she just kill this fool right then and there?
I couldn't answer that question.
And he's pulling out a tiny little knife. What are you going to do with that knife? Nothing. She has a gun.
Well, she ends up
And
dropping the
she's
gun.
pissed.
She ends up dropping the gun in the back. Good thing she ends up dropping it in the back of that truck because the girl's
Not on
dead.
purpose.
No,
not on purpose.
No.
Because she got shot in the shoulder. Because dumbass with the cut in his face doesn't know how to shoot anybody, apparently.
he's a porn guy, man. What does he know?
He had no problem fighting her in the hotel.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Thing. That's another thing. They should have explained his background also because his boss referred to him as being the best fighter amongst them all. He said that because he was surprised that he had gotten beaten up by her earlier, which left the scar on his face.
Yeah.
So I wish they would have. I wish they would have said like what was his background also.
Anyhow, so apparently they're looking for her to kill her because she's moving around because she's not dead because you shot her in the shoulder, dumbass. He shoots the pharmacist for whatever reason. I don't even know what's going on there.
Oh, because the guy had been making little snide little comments, and we've seen characters like this in other movies also. So he shoots. I guess he got tired of him talking shit, man. Because he owed him money. He wanted money from him for everything he had been doing.
Oh, got you. Yeah,
So
he
said you got to pay me whatever, and I guess he was tired of him saying something, and popped him in the head.
The girl in the back, who now we know is not dead, she shoots at homeboy. She's a terrible shot, but it's just enough to get her to get off that little 6-shooter she had and put one in his stomach. I thought she was just going to kill him here. But she takes him to a beach that means something to her because apparently it's where her ballerina friend used to dance and talk about being a fish in practice. And I'm looking like, so at this point, I didn't know what was going to happen because he's begging for his life. And I missed the whole thing where she was getting weapons in the flamethrower. Otherwise, I would have been like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen.
I didn't. I saw that part and didn't know. I thought she was going to drown him. That's what I thought.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, after everything this guy put her through and all her friends and everything, he's begging for his life. Like, you were trying to kill her. That makes me crazy when bad guys are like, oh, I was going to kill you, kill your family, rape your whole entire everybody, and then, but please don't kill me. No, bro, you deserve to die horribly.
Yeah.
You deserve this. Shut up, close your mouth, take your medicine. You lost. And I mean, she does. She burns my man to a crisp with this ridiculous flamethrower that shoots like a 30-foot flame.
Yeah.
She practically put that bitch in his mouth.
Yeah. Killed him.
Just like, oh man, I'm like, okay, that's how you end the movie, I guess.
Yeah, well, you know what? And this is the messed up part because then they come back and they do a flashback of her friend talking about she wanted to be a fish.
Yeah.
And immediately go right here to this part of the movie. And then we see her in the water. Why wasn't that part of the beginning? Why wait to the end of the movie to let her know that her friend wanted to be a fish in another lifetime?
True. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. So then we see her friend in the water dancing, but I'm assuming, nobody else knows she's in there dancing. That's a metaphor thing, I guess. I don't know, man. And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, this isn't the worst I've ever seen, but it wasn't
it's
great.
not Karate Christmas Miracle. Nope, it's not that.
I know. Nah, I'm putting it at a D-.
There we go.
Well, there was some. It had potential, but give me more fight. If you're gonna confuse me with plot and communication, and at least give me some more good fight scenes. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, I like the character. I liked her as a character. I would have liked to see more fight scenes like the beginning. because she was getting creative with that. Like Angel said, she blocked a knife with a can of whatever, beans or something.
I thought it was pineapples, but whatever it was,
whatever it was, I don't know. I don't care. I would have liked to see it, even at the end when she had the ribbon and she was, defending herself with that. I like that kind of stuff. Give me 3 more scenes like that where she's fighting people, even if she's fighting them with a knife. Give her some nunchucks. I don't care. But the flamethrower and the guns, I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care because at this point, the plot had already pissed me off. It was annoying. So yeah, just like I said, Korean. So the plot was hard to follow. Give me some more fight scenes, and I would have been at least a little happier. Maybe not a B or an A, but I'll give it a C plus if you could just give me some more fight scenes.
Okay, what do you think, Andrew?
Same thing, D minus. I'd say the same thing. It was just confusing. No fight.
It was very confusing. Extremely annoying.
Those are like my 2 things. What about you, Gene?
As soon as I got done watching the movie, I thought D minus. So I'm with you guys also. This movie gets a D minus.
Yeah. So I really thought about it too because I was thinking I'm sitting there going, I don't think it's an F. I don't think an E. I don't think we've ever given out an E, but I don't know where an E would actually be. But I said D minus seems fitting to me.
Like I said, man, Karate Christmas Miracle is the basement.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is going to be hard to be worse than that movie. It's going to be hard to be worse than that movie. That is the basement for a lot of movies, man. I mean, a lot of bad movies. So yeah, it wasn't as bad as that. It still makes somewhat sense. Still had action. It wasn't as ridiculous as that movie, So
yeah, true.
All right, let's quickly talk about Cobra Kai. We're not gonna get into a review right now. We're gonna review that movie in a couple weeks. Are we still doing the Love Hurts with the wives next week?
I planned on it.
My wife's probably not gonna be able to get on, but I'll still be able to. I'm still gonna review it, obviously, but I don't think she's gonna be able to get on.
Do you want to wait for us to review to do that? That's the whole point. Otherwise, we could have did it last week when my wife was sick.
Yeah, I'll talk to her tonight and I'll see if she's able to. What's like a day that?
I mean, honestly,
us three could just do Love Hurts. Like I said, Go ahead, Joe. What were you about to say?
Oh, I was gonna say honestly, it'll probably be out of the theaters in a week or two, and we could rent it at home to make it easier. But the closer, so the longer we wait. I'm just saying. Plus, then it won't. We could talk a little bit more about it the longer it stays out there.
So you guys want to wait? I'm talking about it for.
I'm good whenever for that. I'm good whenever.
I'm talking about as far as having the wife. Are we gonna save this one for the wives, or are we gonna do this without them?
That's what I'm saying. If we do it with the wives, I'll gotta talk to her tonight and see when she'll be able to do it.
Okay.
She works on Sundays, and sometimes she gets off right around the time that we're recording. So that's what we'll have to see on. If we do it without them, then I'm good for that.
I mean, we can always save another movie for them, is what I'm getting at, also.
Yeah, true. But I think I don't think we'll.
I already know. Melissa's not gonna like this movie. Love Hurts. She's not gonna.
Oh, really?
No, she's not gonna like it. I'm gonna tell you why. Melissa does not like a lot of violence in movies, and this movie definitely has a lot of violence in it. So I already know her response. She's not gonna be feeling it. So
violent movies are fun to watch, man.
She does not like violent movies at all.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you about Cobra Kai. Okay, 15 episodes was great. Making us wait as long as you did between episodes, to me, it gradually got more disappointing. If you make me wait, I'm expecting like the best of the best, A++++, and I feel like we didn't get that.
I disagree with that. I enjoyed it. I
understand. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong.
No, I know what you mean.
If you gave me all 15 at once, I'd be like, it was great. It was perfect. A++. But to make me wait, I'm expecting more. And I think it was a little, the waiting got to me a little bit.
Yeah, because the waiting made it feel like these were 3 separate seasons. Like they didn't.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like sometimes I forget about what the first 5 episodes were. I confused the first 5 with the end of season 5. I don't remember.
I understand what they were trying to do. I understand what they were trying to do, and I'm okay with that. I like it. It makes sense because the show is called Cobra Kai. So to bring it all together as Cobra Kai, I get that. That made sense. I liked it. A lot of it I did enjoy. Just if you're gonna make me wait that long, I need like fireworks, man. And I feel like I just got a sparkler. That's all.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It was a good way to tie everything in at the end. I have seen. I guess the first spinoff they're doing is going to be about Dimitri and Hawk, possibly, because that's the one I've seen the most.
I read that too.
Which is
I was
cool.
like, I thought that. Oh, that's you're okay with that? That's your two favorites, right?
No.
The Binary Brothers.
Whatever. If they do that, I think they can be they could have a good show without it being karate centered.
True.
It doesn't have to be about fighting and defending themselves and competing. It doesn't. Not with those two characters. Not at all. It definitely doesn't have to be about that. I also think I really don't know if we're going to get a Miyagi spinoff now. I don't know if we're going to get that anymore. I don't know if we're going to get a John Kreese spinoff anymore because we as the seasons has gone on, they kind of backed away from showing us any flashbacks. So before when they were showing more flashbacks, I thought that was the way they were going to go. I don't think they're going to do that anymore. So
I want to know who you know, because you called some things that actually did happen. Two of them.
Yeah, I do that a lot, man.
You know something. You know.
No,
something.
I don't know. I
knew something.
I can look. Travis texts me too.
You knew something.
Travis texted me and said, "Do you feel vindicated now?" And I was like, "No, I knew it all along. I'm not surprised. This type of stuff happens to me all the time. When people argue and debate with me, and I just sit back and wait. Me and Travis had a debate years ago. Travis argued with me that Chris Brown was going to be a bigger celebrity than Usher. And I was like, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen, Trav. He was like, you see. So
he heard his brand after the Rihanna thing. So
I text him. No. This is we had this talk after Rihanna. So,
okay.
but I texted him maybe about a year ago. I said, "Hey, do you still think Chris Brown's gonna be bigger than Usher?" He didn't even respond to my text message. He didn't even say anything. This type of stuff happens to me all the time. And I told Travis, I was like, "Man, I'm used to this. I'm not surprised. I'm used to this type of stuff. When somebody wants to argue me down about something, all right, fine. Let's wait. We'll see what happens.
I'll wait 30 years for this damn boxing conversation. Don't worry, I'll wait."
See, I wasn't even gonna bring that up.
Hey, one thing I did, I called Gene while I was on vacation. I asked Gene, I said, "Did you watch all the episodes?" He's like, "Nah, not yet, man. What's up?" I told him, I said, "I think someone's listening to our show." And he goes, "Why?" I was like, "Because it was just like, there's a bunch of stuff that happened, but it was like one thing in particular that happened that you would only get from our show." Because
was that what Joe just brought up?
No.
Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about then.
Let's talk about it after. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, you didn't watch it?
I did watch it.
No, I watched it all.
But I thought it's what Joe just brought up, what we just talked about.
No, I want to know. Okay, hurry up, end the show so we can find out.
Yeah.
Also, guys, I also read that the next Karate Kid movie, Karate Kid Legends, actually takes place 2 years after this.
I am so pissed. Listen, I'm glad, because when I got done with that, I said, "Well, how does this work into the next movie?" I was like, these people piss me off, because now I have to go and do research.
But Daniel's the only one that's going to be included in the next Karate Kid series.
Yeah.
So I mean that's cool, I guess. I like Daniel in these last 5 episodes more than ever.
Of course you did.
Because I mean he wasn't worried.
He redeemed himself. And I think they did on purpose. He redeems himself.
Yeah, they probably did. Yeah. So I respected him a little bit more at the end of this. So hopefully we'll see what goes. But there's a lot, man. There's a lot that they can do as far as spinoffs go, man. They I mean, if you want to focus on Sam, you can. I don't know how interesting it will be, but if you want to go that route, you can. Of course, you got Dimitri and Hawk. which is it looks like they're the main ones. Maybe that's going to get a spinoff. But you also can do
Robbie.
You can do Robbie and Tori, and
Robbie
also
and Tori would.
Axel,
I think
not
that
just
would
them
be a
two,
good one.
but with Axel and Zara, because they're not going to stop competing, you know. So we could do something where they might be on the same national karate team or something like that. They're all traveling
Well,
around the countries.
Axel and Zara would probably be the best one because they could pull they could be the next Johnny.
No, I'm talking about them with Tori and Robbie.
Oh, okay, yeah, true. But I'm saying that
Either
could be the next
as opponents or on the
redemption
same
story.
team.
They
Yeah,
could be the next redemption story.
yeah, you know, so it's interesting. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the whole 6 seasons of Cobra Kai, uh, and you know the two dojo thing at the end. You know, I get that also. So it's cool. I can't wait till we start breaking it down, and start talking about that.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right. Anything else?
Oh man, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. Cool. All right. So we haven't decided what we're doing next week. You know, I'll make the call then. Let's do Love Hurts
Okay.
next week, us three, and
Okay.
whenever all three of the wives can get together, let's have them on together. I don't know. I mean, I know Melissa kind of wanted to do it for Valentine's Day, but we couldn't get together for Valentine's Day. Maybe we'll do it for Mother's Day. Maybe we'll save it for May.
That'd be a good one.
You know, so we'll see. We'll talk about it. But Love Hurts next week. All right.
All right.
All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week. And I am going to play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.